Alright, this is my audience. There we go. We even have the children. I'm introducing Kate Chopin. She was born February 8th, 1851 as Catherine O'Flaherty in St. Louis, Missouri, and died August 22nd, 1904. She grew up, her father was an Irish merchant who was also an immigrant, and he met her mom, who is of French descent, and her dad actually died in 1855 in a train crash, and Kate actually grew up in a household with her widowed mother, her widowed grandmother, and her widowed great-grandmother. Her great-grandmother was actually very influential on her works that she started later on in life. She spoke to her only in French, and she pushed her to get an education, and she pushed her imagination and her actually into writing. And after she had graduated in New Orleans, she took a trip to New Orleans and met Oscar Chopin, whom she married and had 6 children, 5 boys, and her last child was actually a girl. Miss Chopin actually grew up when women didn't have any rights, and they were meant to actually be to stand behind their men, just look pretty and be good wives and be good mothers, and that's all that they were worth to people in that time period. She grew up in the South under the Creole tradition. Her father-in-law was very, very strict Southern Creole man. He owned several plantations, and he's actually a depicted character in one of her novels, The Awakening. She was really ahead of her time back then. Women were not able to smoke cigarettes. Their dresses had to be way below the ankle. You couldn't even lift your dress up above your ankle to cross over a puddle. Kate was not that type of person to really conform to the traditional ideas of society. Her novels are The Awakening and At Fault, which was actually her first novel. She's very feministic in her writings. She's very political. And when she came out with The Awakening, she actually got really horrible reviews, and that basically kind of ended her career. And when she died in 1904, it was like she became an unknown author up until the 1960s, when a Norwegian critic actually reread The Awakening, and that's when it started to boom again, and now it's taught during school as early as middle school to really let people understand how hard it was for women back then with no rights, and the struggles that we actually had to go through to become the women that we are today.
Good job.
Okay, that was actually very interesting.